We will take... Iron propulsion's nice. I'm not going to bother with any of that yet. Don't know if I need these. Yeah, that's specifically for probes, isn't it, really? You can make like really small probes with that. But do you need to combine them with automation so that you can make them remotely controllable? Like if you combine that and that together, presume you could make completely drone controllable, remote controllable probes? Because you've got an efficient Xenon engine, which lasts for ages, and then with this you can control it. So you could kind of... You already have basic automation components. I do have unmanned tech, don't I? I have this... That there, I think that's what we used for it. So I don't understand then what's the benefit of this one? MechJet pod version. The drone core. Maybe that's supposed to go... Remote pilot assist. That looks like it's meant to go on a ground vehicle, maybe. Yeah, I do definitely, Costello. I think it's driven by that one, possibly. This thing, that and that. I think that drone's driven by. I'm not sure about the benefit of this yet. I think iron propulsion's worth getting, just so we can make iron-based stuff. And then I think after that, either advanced metalworks. Don't think I need that yet. Maybe we've got enough for now. STG Eddie, thank you for 18 months, sir. Right, so now we just need a mission, don't we? So let's go back to the tracking station. Decide what we're going to do. Where should we go? See, I think that probe there, Squirrel Survey Satellite, I've got a feeling that's the one with the little Probodyne on it. But I think all this is really doing is relaying signals. I don't think it's actually... I think it did a surface scan for us initially. Yeah, it's got like a massive scanner and a dish on it. External tanks. Yeah, Probodyne, there it is. It's got the Probodyne, it's got the battery pack, fuel tank, fuel adapter, spark engine. We had a relay antenna, a survey scanner, that was it. That was it, because you can toggle overlay. That's it, I remember. Resource. Or... Didn't we use that to figure out where to go mining? It was something like that. Kekendas, thank you for 1.5 years. And N10SE, thank you for 90 months tier 2. It's been a long time since Sunday Night Trucking. Great content as always, Paul. Thank you, dude. Yeah, I've got a feeling I used that scanner to figure out where to go mining. I was mining field. We had a little car that would mine, and we... Yeah, I've got that, Larry, but I was just trying to remember what the scanner was doing. Yeah, if we look... That's not what I wanted. You're just a Harry Potter fanboy, that's all, Alex. You like Harry like Matty likes Lando. Yeah, there you go. So I think that red is where the ore is, and that's where we put the mining vessel, I think. But that's also acting as a relay for comms from Minmus, I think. Le Kremlin, thank you for 3 months. Now I want to turn the scanner off. Retract scanner, no. Toggle overlay, there we go. So we don't have much going on Minmus, but I think we've been there a few times and got stuff done. I don't know if there's any benefit in putting a probe around it. Do we get extra science if we do that? I don't know. Actually, I need to bounce the game, don't I? Because I need to... I need to get that other mod working. Do I need to leave the game or just go to main menu? I probably need to leave the game, don't I? Because I need to get that science mod running. Oh god, all that does is fire up a website. I foolishly thought it would show me what mods I had running. I have to fend for myself today, guys. I've got a flask of tea. I think you get an unmet tech boost for a return from orbit, if I'm remembering right. I mean, if we did put a probe around there, at the very least, it would act as a relay station. Le Kremlin, thank you for 3 months. Right, where should we go? Let's have a look at the Delta V chart again. How's it gone? The moon was 5,000. Delta V. Minmus is 4,600. Moho is 8,300. Yeah, not the best name to have right now, is it? Well, June is 6.5K Delta V, so that's not a big jump. But then obviously you need to get back, don't you? That's 6,500 Delta V to get you there. Either way, we need a bigger rocket. Mr. Zonta, thank you for 76. Right, continue save, Squirrel X. That's not right. Where's the save game that just literally saved? Where's all the save games gone? Is that right? Where's all the save games? Oh God. What is this? Click-through blocker focus setting. What on earth? Up until this release, the click-through blocker has used a model of focus follows mouse, meaning that the focus was on whatever the window the mouse was over. This release provides a new model of focus follows click, which means that you need to click on a window for that window to have focus. The focus won't leave the window, right? This window will only appear once to offer the choice. Oh God. It can always be changed in the stock settings window under the click-through blocker tab. Focus follows mouse and then hits save as global and accept. I mean, you know, that's your choice, right? Save as global. Click can be buggy. Right. Toolbar control. What is this? I never had this last time. Is this a new mod? Toolbar control is a mod which provides easy way to use select which toolbar to use for mods which have toolbar button. KSP has a stock toolbar located either along the bottom or side screen depending on the scene you're in. There's another toolbar available as a mod commonly referred to as Blizzy toolbar. Called this because the original author was known as Blizzy78. The button for the toolbar controller will be available in all scenes. The button looks like this. So I presume that's that one. By clicking this button, the mod will bring up a simple window which will look similar to the following image. For each mod that you have registered itself with the toolbar controller, there will be a line with two radio buttons and the name of the mod. The buttons are exclusive, meaning if you click one, the other will be on set. In most cases, the change is instantaneous. The toolbar controller itself uses this so that you can immediately see the results. If the Blizzy toolbar is not installed, all the buttons will be shown on the stock toolbar. This intro will be displayed every time you start the game until you click the label Hide this window on startup. Got that? Now, there you go. So that was what we just installed, this X stuff. This must have come with it, and then toolbar controller came with all of that, as far as I can tell. Let me just double check that that has loaded the correct save game. Iron propulsion, okay. Yep, looks like it has. X Science is so useful for new players. I still use it after 2,000 hours. What is it like? How do you like enable it, engage it or something? Does it automatically pop up? Okay. Right, Juno, where are you? No. Do you see the X on the bottom? That wasn't there before. Right. This one. Science, what's it telling us? Crew report while landed at Kerbin's water. I swore I've done that. Dear me. Show experiments available right now. Show experiments available on this vessel. Show all unlocked experiments. Show all experiments. Blimey. Wait a minute. So if I was to like... Let me just take that outside for a second. So this will stop your warp and have a pop-up in flight for your signs. MB, thank you for a year. Happy anniversary, MB. Okay, so if we're here... Where's the X button? There it is. So available now. Mystery goo while landed at Kerbin's shores. 3.7 out of 3.9. Material study while landed at Kerbin shores. Surface sample. So it's basically telling me that I can just do a material study like that. No way. That's not completely full though, is it? The icon below the X is a smaller, better version. This one. That one? Surely not. On the right. That's what I clicked, isn't it? That's what I clicked this X. You reckon this one? Science here and now. Landed at Kerbin's runway shores. Mystery goo observation. Wait a sec. Okay, let's just I want to see how this works. Oh, where's the scientist? I hate this. You load the aircraft in, and it doesn't remember the scientists that were in there, so it just puts it back to default. 1 second. Revert flight back to the hangar. Put the scientist in the back. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to put the scientist in the front initially and the pilot in the back while we do this. You can do 2 experiments before it gives you 0 for the 2. I did see a table about how it falls away in value. Right, so sig rate doing EVA. That's interesting because now it's not showing the experimental data that I could do. It's saying you can take a surface sample because I'm not back in that craft. Whereas when I was in this, it says you can do a couple of other things. Keep experiment. And then we can EVA sig ray. And sig ray can do a surface sample, but also can probably collect that and do it again. Why is that surface sample not gone up? Take a surface sample. Store it on the ship. How? It says it's going to dump stuff. Yeah, it is a bit of a science alert. Like, it's telling me when I'm around stuff that I could get. How to recover Sigray? I don't know how we recover her. There's no option on this menu to just recover her. What will never hurt anyone? What? How do we recover her from here, but not the ship? Hit the mouse at the top of the screen. Oh, what? Click that. Does that recover her separately then? Interesting. Material study from runway, 7.5 signs. Recovery of a vessel. Sigray. I'm not really sure that worked, to be honest. Okay, well, I get how that works anyway, so let's go to the VAB and build something. Oh, is the ship still out there? Scumbag. Cool. Bit more science in the bag. Right, so to go to... Let's see. If we're going to go to Juna, we need 6,500 Delta V just to get there, never mind getting back. So that's a lot. We have already designed a bunch of rockets. We had the Brighton and we had the Manchester series. But now we've got the bigger rocket stuff. We might be able to stick bigger tanks everywhere. Brighton had a... So the Birmingham series was to do with building the Birmingham fuel station. Brighton... I can't remember. What was Brighton about? Was Brighton about getting on Minmas? Was Brighton the delivery vessel for the mining stuff? Manchester Fuel Depot... Extension... Manchester Fuel Depot rocket. I can't remember what the Brighton series was about, to be honest. Brighton 1, Brighton 2, Brighton 3. Let's have a look at Brighton 6. Re-entry module. Was this one about getting into space and back, maybe? Brighton was the main and only workhorse, was the all-rounder. This was about re-entry, wasn't it, I think? Because it got parachute, yeah. This was about getting back onto Kerbal and landing. We need a vehicle that can land on the surface of Juna, which is not... I don't think that's what this rocket was for. Although it does have the landing legs. So it does have a lander, and then it has a re-entry vehicle, to which is attached a load of science. But, is that a coupler? Yeah, that decouples from the science bay. So I'm guessing who's on board. A partner scientist, you're right. So the scientist must have grabbed all the science data off here, and then just this re-entered. About Dave McCunny is probably got to start from scratch. No, I'll forget something if I do that. Fuel tank adapter, rocker max. Oh, didn't we put a bunch of things inside? Container module, yeah. Yeah, the Brighton was about landing and putting stuff on the ground as well. So it carried with it all this equipment for the. But you need an engineer, don't you, to put that stuff down? This is where you run into problems. Because I think you need an engineer to deploy all that kit. You're pretty certain to use this for the Minmas. Well, it wouldn't have enough Delta V currently as it is. It says it only has 6,000 for stage 2. You need 6.5. Actually, you need 6.5 to land on Juno if you're super efficient. Brighton was a 2-seater, there was a 3-seater pod version, completely the same with an extra seat in the inside. I think that's the one we need. Excuse me. This is different, look. I think this... Didn't we land this on Minmas? This has less Delta V in the initial stage because it has more weight up here. You never use the 3-seater. This is not the rocket we need for what we're trying to do. Maybe we should just adapt the Brighton 6. I don't think the Manchester stuff is right because that's all about creating that station on Minmas. I can't remember what this was. SSR 1 and 2. What's this? I can't remember what that was about. 6. So that's a re-entry module, because we need to go there and we need to come back. We need to get there, do a bunch of science, and then come back. That's the plan. Cargo, command and control. That's the 3. Wait, that's literally the same size as that one. Well, it's slightly bigger. The 2 weighs 1.3 tons and that weighs 1.9 tons. Yeah, it's quite a bit heavier. How difficult is it to get off Juno? I can't remember. I don't think Juno has an atmosphere. Or does it? Maybe it does actually. I can't remember. So that thing has been strutted on. And then I put some ladders up the side. Oh, it automatically clamped it. That's interesting. Just a thin, cool atmosphere.
Sorry about my lith, I got stung by a bee. But anyway, I finally will soon have 200 down internet. It is about time, I am so excited. That's the downside of living in very rural area. Slow internet, but not anymore.
Oh, Fire Tiger, thanks for that, dude. Slow internet. That's a good one. Delete fairing. Let's get rid of the fairing while we mess around. Was it the Alt key? I seem to remember. You hold the Alt key down there. We go. See, it's coming back. It's coming back to me. And you kind of put that down like that. And that allows them to get back in the hatch, I think. Because I think that's the door. 1500 Delta V from surface to orbit for Juno. Yeah, this is the problem. It is 6.5k to get there, 1500 to get back off, and then you need some Delta V to get back. 6.5, 7, 8. Probably looking at like 9k Delta V. Like, just rip. Let's sort the top end first. Let's get the actual rocket ready. And then as we go further down, we'll have to start looking at replacing this with some big boy stuff. Because we've got bigger engines and bigger everything. But I think we can repurpose some of this. I think what we can do... We need a different naming series for this. Let's see, we've had Brighton, Manchester, Birmingham. What other town should we go for now? Swansea. Go for... I don't know, Glasgow. Glasgow sounds funny. Glasgow 1. York. How about York? I like York. Let's go with York. Call it the York 1. I'm not calling it a Clacton-on-Sea, dude. Right, parachutes, rechargeable battery on top. We have big experimental storage units so we can store loads of science. 2 radio-mounted parachutes. They are set to deploy when it disengages. We have an inline reaction wheel. We have crew on board of a scientist, a pilot, and a scientist. Obviously. I don't know actually if you want to put equipment down or not. Because the reason to put equipment down, I remember we went to Midmas, we put the equipment down, and then we have like antenna arrays pointing back, and it background gathers research points, doesn't it? That's why we did that. But with this, if we go to Juno, I don't know if we'll be in range of the transmitter. I think we'd have to put a relay around Minmus possibly to even get it to work. And when Juno's on the wrong side, we won't get any. So I don't know if it's worth... I'm guessing down here we have a whole load of science equipment, which is extra weight. So is it even worth taking all this? I don't know.
As Scott Manley would say, check yo staging's cheese.
Lol. Thank you, Pectec. Is that the way it works, Larry? Like, you can't relay anything past Kerbin's sphere of influence at all? So it's just literally not even worth bothering with taking any of this stuff? Like the whole comms thing, science experiment, like, I don't know. Without a long-range extender, it isn't worth it. A long-range extender. And where do we put the long-range extender? On the surface of Juno? In orbit around Juno, or somewhere else? Photovoltaic panels, so we've got power, lighting, science, comms, and then control. The long-range relay. Like I said, we have a relay around the moon, I think. But I don't know what the range is. Do the equipment store the science until it gets in range for a relay to transmit all at once? If they're coming back, we don't need to transmit. That's the bigger one. Antenna rating 15G. Never mind 4G and 5G. This is 15G. This is way into the future. 15G. Antenna rating combinable versus L1 DSN. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? L1 DSN 5.48 gigameters? Is that what it's saying? I love the way the game tells you all this stuff but doesn't explain any of it, and then it doesn't say, oh, by the way, Juno is 8 gigameters away. You have no idea how far it is. So maybe we just ditch all of that and assume that we won't be putting that down, in which case we don't really need to take an engineer. We actually don't need 3 people on board unless we're deploying that stuff. DSN refers to the level tracking station you have. Okay. How do we... I save that. I don't know what level tracking station I have. Tracking station, right? So what does it tell us that? Speedy, thank you, 55 months. Yeah, we're doing fine. Thank you, Speedy. So at the moon, we have that relay satellite, the Squirrel Survey satellite. But I don't know what distance that can relay stuff from. You need the Communitron 88 or the RA100. That's an RA15 relay antenna. Antenna rating 15G. So that's the big one we just saw, isn't it? So you're saying we'd need an even bigger one? That's an RA-15 right there. Space Center. Let me go back to the research bit. Orbital mechanics, dude. You need a degree in physics to play this game. What's going to do? Research. So when we saw larger probes, there was something. There's the RA-100. Tolerance 50 Gs. 50 Gs. That's not the stats. Where's the stats? 14.1 gigameters. RA-15 would be alright, but it would be a lowish connection. Yeah, it has the advantage though, Larry, that it's already around the moon doing its thing. It's already out there. But I don't know if it would work. I don't know. If you was to put a probe around Juno with an RA-15 on it, maybe it could talk to the RA-15 on the moon. Maybe that would work. Anyway. I think we need to decide on the mission objective. That's the main thing. If we're not taking all the equipment, we don't need a 3-man pod. If we are taking all the equipment, we need a 3-man pod. So, I bet you it's not loaded the crew. You scumbag game. Look at that. You scumbag. You could find yourself going all the way to Juno and then suddenly find that you've got 2 scientists instead of an engineer because the game's quietly swapped it out. So yeah, 3-man pod. Take all the equipment with us so you can put down the voltaic cells, the command and control, the transmitter, the lights. You could set that up and maybe come back later with a transmitter relay and put it in orbit. Maybe that's an option. We have science, we have 2 goo containments, we have... Where did it... What's that? Can't remember where the temperature probe and there it is. The RA-15 will work with the level 3 tracking station, which you already have. Keep forgetting that this is science mode only. Correct. Yeah, I can't be bothered with the economy thing. Right, so let's go with that. That's going to be what we're flying today. We've got batteries. Photovoltaic cell we can deploy to get more power. We have fuel tank. Right, so this is the landing stage, effectively. Which has 3,000 delta V. 3,000 delta V is enough to land and get off, but not enough to get back. So, by current calculations, this upper stage can, assuming the lower stage can get it all the way to Juno, we wouldn't have enough delta V to get down there, do our thing, and then take off, and then get back. So we don't have enough fuel at the moment to make this work. Forgot we put extra stuff down here as well, didn't we? Come on. We've got all the equipment. So unless we can... We need more fuel storage, don't we? You'd be later when going back. It doesn't matter. It's all, well, okay, yeah. But I still don't think there's enough room for maneuver. Like, it's going to cost 1,400 to land, 1,500 to land, 1,500 to get off, and then you still need Delta V to fly back towards Kerbin, you know, and come in on some kind of maneuver. I mean, yes, you will be losing some weight when we land. We'll be taking all this equipment off, but I don't know how much it weighs. Does it tell us anywhere? Yeah, it's not much. .015 of a ton. It's not even a quarter of a ton in weight, all that stuff. So maybe then we change. Well, we're going to need a different upper stage. This isn't going to work. Rockamax fuel tank X200. Where's fuel? Engines. Fuel tanks. Size. So that must be that one. Is that one? X232, that's that one. So anything bigger comes after this. So that's 18 tons and carries 1,400 litres of fuel. That is a lot bigger. Blimey, that's a lot bigger. For an upper stage, that is insane. That's going to be a big boy. Maybe we need... You see, that would be fine if all it had to do was land, take off and get back. It needs something else to transfer it to Duna. Actually, no, because even then it wouldn't have enough. Even then it wouldn't have enough. Blimey. Do you still have fuel stored on the space station? Yeah, we do. That's not really the issue. The problem is, like, even if this thing is fully loaded with fuel, if this upper stage was fully loaded with fuel and we got it to Duna and orbited it, it still wouldn't have enough to land, get off and get back. That's the problem. According to the calculation up here anyway, which is stage 1. Yeah, this stage here, stage 1. It says it has 3,100 Delta V. However, that's in Kerbin. 1 second. In Duna, it actually has 3,500 Delta V. So maybe it would. It takes 1,500 to land, 1,500 to get off. You'd have 500 left to effectively maneuver from Duna back to Kerbin. It's not a lot. You can use parachutes to land. What, on Duna? Well, somebody said it has a thin atmosphere, so I don't know how effective the parachutes would be on Duna. No, it's not a lot. I'm not comfortable with that wiggle room. I mean, we could deorbit, send it towards Juna, but if its speed's too high and the atmosphere's thin, the parachutes are not going to do a lot. The issue is this 3-man pad and all the equipment. We could pretty much do it without all that extra weight. Le Vanquish, thank you for 74 months. You can aero brake. What with? You mean just keep like skimming the atmosphere? That is 20 tons, and that has 1,600. It's like a slightly bigger version of that. It's just a different shape, really. I presume that goes on top like that. So if you want to go big boy, you can go like that. Refuel at the moon, you have a decent enough fuel on? No. No, Larry, that's not really what... It won't help. As I said, in the upper stage, if it's already full of fuel, we don't have enough to do the job. Unless we can get to Juna and then refuel, it's not going to work. Because according to the Delta V chart, you need 1450 to land from a 60k orbit. So we get to Juna, put it in a 60k orbit. We need 1450 Delta V to get on the ground. We need 1450 to get back up. And that's not even to an orbit. And then we need Delta V to push out of Juna, head back towards Kerbal, and then deorbit into Kerbal. Just fuel, wasn't it? I wonder if those engines could even cope with this. Yeah, but Kralnort, that's only when you're bothered about the Delta V on the lower stage. Like, if removing fuel on the upper stage doesn't really tell you anything. I made you buy KSP. I'm sorry. You have my apologies. Yeah, we'd have to be super optimal with 3.5k. So I'm just wondering if we can... I mean, we could put some fuel bags around it. That's one option. They're probably okay in a thin atmosphere. Just to give us more wiggle room. That's certainly one option. Or we try to make wider tanks. No, sadly, you've never been able to co-op this game. How many? Was that 3 or 4 on that? That was 3. It has 3 because it has 3 storage bays, doesn't it? I don't know if those engines are going to cope. That fuel would give you more wiggle room. Can you draw for all in Juna? I guess. That's the Mark 55 thud. Yeah, that's that. Pretty good engines, I thought. Trouble is, if you put 4 of them, actually, a 4 might work on this. Thrust to weight ratio of 0.84. But that's on Kerbal. What about on Juno? Thrust to weight ratio of 3.0. So that's all right. That's 4,000 delta V on Juno. So that, in and of itself, probably is enough wiggle room and enough thrust to weight ratio to do the job, right? So I think if we can get that to Juno, we can probably get the job done. So the next thing is I need to bring over the equipment that we had, because this one had 2 science parts. What did that one have? Another science part and a cargo part. And then another science part. Really? We need all them science parts. Oh. No, I want just the landing bit, thank you. Just that, thank you. Should be alright. Don't forget about RCS. I don't think we have any RCS on this. I think we just use the inland reaction, don't we? Which will be very interesting to maneuver. J10, thank you for 34 months. So now we need one of these. We'll put 4 down, but we don't need 4. Cargo. Angle. So currently we have 2 control units, 2 comms ports, 2 science experiments. What's the difference between that? That's a seismometer. That's an ED monitor. So we've got 2 of them, 2 of them, 2 of them, and 1 light. An extra light in there. 5 science parts. I don't think we need anything in the lower. If I remember, the reason for these was to transfer stuff from there to there so that you could take it out. I don't think we need anything down below, really. You can put some extra lights in there, but... Have I ever played DCS? Oh, yeah. Any tips on how to get better? Get your control sensitivity right is the main problem. Because most aircraft in DCS are quite realistic flight models, so they tend to be very sensitive to movement. If you don't get your controller stick sensitivity right, you'll find yourself overcorrecting a lot. And stay away from the propeller stuff, because the torque steering on them is quite high, and you'll inevitably crash. So don't get near the tail draggers. Don't get near the single engine prop stuff. Just go with A10's good. A10 is easy to fly, quite a benign aircraft. And the Viper. Photovoltaic cell. Stampatron ground anchor. What even is this? I don't even know what it is. A cargo part that can be placed inside imageries. Yes, but what does it do? Storage anchor. Weather analyzer. Is that even worth taking to Juno? A weather analyzer? It's not really going to have weather there, is it? Ionograph. Normally, business of building things emit tons of ions. This can detect them. Is that just more science? Requires an atmosphere? No. Requires no atmosphere? Yes. That's not good. Not in Juno. EVA experiment kit. Oh, the jetpacks. Do we need jetpacks? They can be quite useful for wandering around. EVA repair kit. Fuel cylinders. Jay Webster, thank you for tier 2, almost 2 years. Yep, you get a new badge then. Right. Okay. I think that is what we want, because if we go with Juno, 4001 Delta V, thrust to weight is good. Hopefully we can make that work. Now we need a lower stage to get it up there. So that... everything from there is useless. So that's a structural tube. Airstream protective shell. So right. I remember what I did. We had structural. We had a small gap so that we can then put the protective shell around the whole thing. This may be too tall. I played War Thunder years ago, but I stopped playing it. Structural tube. It's a little bit higher than I need, really. It's a bit taller than I'd like. Yeah, heat shield on the first stage. What, here? Why? I mean, if I have a heat shield here, it's not going to protect the landing struts. All that's going to... It's only got a thin atmosphere. Sure, we don't need that. In the place of the decoupler. I don't know if we do. Just do an entry burn, slow yourself down so you don't burn up. So effectively now we're looking at something that will get that to Juno. That's what we need now. I think at this point we can more or less throw this away. What was on the bottom of that? Mainsail. The re-entry part for Kerbal has a heat shield. Oh yeah, up here. That's not the re-entry part's up here. That's the re-entry. This is not... This entire stage is meant to land on Juno. That's the purpose of this. So we need something that gets it over to Juno now. So there's a couple of ways of doing this. Do we go for a transfer stage and then a launch stage? How much delta V do we need to get over there? We'd need 130 plus 250 plus 360. You need about 1,000 delta V to transfer over into an orbit. So we could have a small transfer stage. Whoops. It's probably not big enough, is it? It's quite a lot of fuel. What engines do you want to put on the side of that? Or underneath it? We need something that's good in a vacuum, because this is going to be a transfer engine. ISP of 70. How do you tell this to show you what it's like in a vacuum? That's the skipper. Put the altitude to 70k. That's 2,200 delta V. That's plenty. That should get us over there. Right, so then the question is, can we actually get that off the ground? You think you just uncheck the atmospheric button? I think you're right, sir. Seems to do the same thing. Well, we're going to try and get to Juno. That's what we're doing. Decoupler. That's not big enough. Well, that's no good, is it? How do we wrap that thing? Yeah, a thrust to weight ratio doesn't matter when you're floating in space, though, does it, Larry? Like, it doesn't matter. It'll still be enough to do what we need it to do. Because gravity's not really affecting you at that point. But what I'm not sure about is how to get a proper wrap on that. What component do I need? I'm not going to put a fairing on there, am I? I do, chorizo. How do I do something with that to stop it from... What's the component? I've used it before. Hinges for a smaller tank size. Well, the problem is... it's a pretty good engine in a vacuum. You can put that out there, but you've just got even more weight now. It's actually a longer engine. Gives you better thrust to weight, but less delta V. ISP of 290 to 305. Barrett, how are you doing? Greg Pete, thank you for 2 months. I don't know which is the best engine. Like, maybe we just need to... The Mammoth. It's not that Mammoth. It has an insane thrust to weight ratio, but a very low delta V. Probably because it weighs so much. 15 tons just for that engine. There you go. Let's go with that. Coupler. Go. Same stage. Okay, that's the transfer stage. Now we've got to do the launch stage. Let's move this thing up. It's getting big. The engine has some included fuel, that's why it's heavy. Really? That doesn't seem to have any fuel. Oh yeah, I've got the big parts out now. We're going further afield. Yep, time to get the big stuff out. Let's see, what's the biggest fuel tank we got? Probably something like that. Rawr. That may be. 3.5k right there. Big bad bod. Thank you for 30 months. Cluster adapter. Right, fuel tanks. So what goes onto that? Is it 4 separate fuel? You're supposed to put... That's just for 4 engines, presumably. It's the biggest. It's the biggest. It's a lot of fuel. And it's a lot of weight. Oh man, it's nearly on the ground. Hang on, we need to move it further up. I don't think they need to lift that door up a bit more. Oh yeah, it's 2 o'clock. Yeah, I've got to go and get lunch, guys. We'll have to take a break now. I'm on a slightly different time scale today. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, I've just done 10 till 2 of night, so that's a 4 hour. I need to stop, go and get some lunch, and then I'll be back in an hour, and then we'll do 3 hours. I need to finish early because I'm going to my daughter's birthday this evening. Well, we're all going out for a meal at a stupidly expensive restaurant because that's what she wanted to do. Like, literally, the only thing this place sells is steak and lobster, and pretty much everything has garlic on it. And if you order a steak, you only get steak. I'm not joking, you only get steak. Then, if you want chips, that's £4. If you want carrots, that's £4. If you want mushrooms, that's £4. I'm not even joking. Not joking. Pretty much all of us are slightly protesting about it. I'm just going to have a bag of chips. I'm just going to sit there with a bag of chips and a beer. Be like, there you go. Right, guys, I'll be back in 1 hour's time. We'll carry on. We'll put the engine on the bottom of this thing when I get back. I need to go and make my lunch because I'm the only one in the house right now. I also need to feed the dogs as well. So I'll be back in an hour's time. Yes, it is very excessive, Ferret. Let's put it this way: the steak is £30. What's that? $35, $40, and that's for a 250, 300 gram steak, which is just nothing. It's a joke. It's an actual joke. Anyway, back in an hour's time. Bye for now.